Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kev's Movie Corner. I am Kev, and this week we are talking about Nashville. This movie came out in 1975. Brief snippet from IMDb is over the course of a few hectic days, numerous interrelated people prepare for a political convention. First off, I'm going to try to make it through this. I've not been feeling well lately, so we'll see how well this goes. Hopefully I don't cough in the middle of it too many times, but this movie stars a kind of a relatively large cast. There's 24 main characters. A few of them are Keith Carradine, Karen Black, Ronee Blakley, Shelley Duvall, David Arkin. My favorite character was Jeff Goldblum, who didn't say a single word and is cited as Tricycle Man on this. He does a couple of magic tricks at the beginning, and he's just kind of like in between scenes riding his little motorcycle around places. And he's got these big old glasses things on, big old thick orange frame glasses, and a cowboy hat, and he just, I love Jeff Goldblum because he's just incredible. So, anyway, that's my favorite part of the whole movie. If that gives away anything else, then there you go. Anyway, this movie starts with some recording in Nashville by the title name. Country music star recording and a gospel star recording, and you start having slowly people start intertwining in different things. You've got a BBC reporter who shows up and ends up going to both studios, talking to people in both areas. And slowly they just kind of, all these different storylines that are going on end up mingling as people end up meeting each other. Like it says, there's kind of a political arc of somebody who's running for president, trying to get all of these musicians to come perform at their rally. And it's just kind of it's kind of an overarching political part of it. And the politician is kind of talking about, how everything is, they don't like what's going on, we need change, stuff like that. But there's a little bit of a political politics in it. There's also a couple scenes where they talk. One person at the end says, "This isn't Dallas," after something happens. I'll get to that in a minute. And then another woman talks about how people didn't like. Some people didn't like JFK. So there is some political stuff to this, and that garnered some pushback. It seems like in afterwards, but for the most part, it's just kind of a intermingling of a bunch of different stuff happening that it doesn't ever seem to go anywhere. You've got, like I said, they all kind of have you have the recording studios, then you go to the airport where all these people kind of show up at the same time for one of them that's coming back, a woman, recording artist who's coming back after a supposed fire, which later you kind of it seems like it may have actually been not a fire and was a mental breakdown, and she had spent some time away, which, hey, that happens. That's fine. It's okay. It happens to people. But that, you get that, and then they all get trapped on a highway after a pile up, and you have just different scenes of like these people doing this thing, and it just seems to jump all over the place. I did not really enjoy it. It's almost 3 hours long too, which made it even worse. It's gotten a lot of praise. So if you like, what is this? What do they consider this? I don't know. Hold on. What is this considered? A musical comedy. I didn't really find it to be funny, personally. Maybe that's just me. but it's just kind of it just was all over the place, and it didn't have a theme that seemed to be going on with it. Um, the very you like again you all these people that are going through, and I guess it's just kind of to show you life is kind of what it seems like. Is it's just showing you what life is like in any industry, any business, of how it seems kind of cutthroat, the decisions that you have to make, everything that goes on. It's messy, and it just kind of goes. And that's kind of what happens in this. The very last scene is somebody shooting one of the stars, and her being carried off, seemingly dead, and then it just kind of ends with a woman who was wanting to make it big as a singer singing for the first time on a stage at this rally. And it's just kind of, it doesn't really have an ending. It doesn't really seem to have a point, except to show that things are messy, which is, I guess, maybe what they were going for. I don't know. I did read a little bit, very little, if you know how this goes, very little into this. And one of the things that I saw is that one professor of studies compared it to like it doesn't, basically said what I just said. It doesn't have, it's open to many interpretations. So it's kind of open-ended to whatever you want, whatever you need it to be, or whatever you want to see it as at the time. Yeah, one of the quotes is, "It invites and indeed valorizes the contradictions, and seems designed to resist closure." So it just doesn't ever seem to like have an ending or anything. It just kind of all happens. It's kind of like it's all thrown at you. Many of the songs, I did find this interesting. Many of the songs were written by the cast that were sang in this. They were all recorded as live concert pieces. So there's a lot of those. I'm not a country music fan either, which also didn't help with not really enjoying this movie. Because I'm not a really a country music fan. Sorry, you know. I preferred the gospel music in this. I thought that was more interesting than the country. But there's several different concerts. There's, of the 3 hours, there's an hour of just music, which is fine, I guess, if you like country music. It's just there's such long periods where they're just singing a song, and I didn't care about the songs. Like, it's just me, maybe. I mean, this film did win an Oscar, I believe, for Best Original Song. It was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director. But it won for Best Original Song. Again, it's an hour. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. An hour of that is just people singing on stage. It wasn't for me. Like, it just wasn't. I don't know what to tell you. It says that it's a comedy. I didn't really find it funny personally. I do think that it's interesting they shot the whole thing on location. So the whole thing was shot in Nashville. There's scenes in a hospital that was actually, they used a closed hospital and just renovated a floor so that they could use that area for it. They do things at the Grand Ole Opry, which is, it's cool that they did all that. It says that most of the what do you call them? Extras in the movie weren't actually hired extras. They were just people that happened to be around when they were filming, which is fun. So it's it's cool in that sense. But it didn't catch my attention. I was very bored. Still watched the whole thing. But I just didn't. It wasn't my thing. Again, Jeff Goldblum just making his his smiling face and just randomness in the movie was the best, in my opinion, the best part of the whole thing. So yeah, if you like country music, this might be for you, because it's got an hour of country music in it and people singing country music. Apparently, this was not liked by the country music industry when it came out. The director said that they should. He wasn't trying to make fun of them. They felt that it was lowering how talented they were and things. Which I'm not gonna say country music isn't. They aren't talented, because they are. I'm just not. It's not personally my style. But he argued that he particularly did not use their music. He had all of it written, so everything is original to not do that. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's something that I guess you can watch if you want to watch it. It's number 59 on this list. This is the 10-year anniversary of the AFI Top 100. It's number 59 on the list. It wasn't on the original list at all, so I don't know if that says anything to you or not, but it was not originally on the list. Interesting piece of trivia on here. Film was improvised a lot by actors and actresses who basically used the screenplay as a guide. So that's just showing more people's talent. Like, that's, and it was almost entirely shot in sequence, so in order, which is not common for a movie. A lot of times they're shot in random orders because they just needed to. But yeah, again, if you like country music, might be worth you watching. If you don't, I would probably steer clear of this, because maybe it's just me. Maybe you want to watch it in spite of me. Great, go for it. I don't care. I did not enjoy it, though. I will tell you that. And maybe it's just not my type of thing. I don't really know. It was filmed well. Maybe I just didn't get. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I know I'm an idiot, but maybe I'm just an idiot and I didn't get it. But anyway, yeah, that's about it for this week. If you guys enjoyed this, it is what it is. It's just for me. Like and subscribe, comment, and next week we're gonna watch Duck Soup from 1933. So if you want to watch that, I'll talk to you guys next week.